Hello, my loyal companions. Welcome back to RogueCast, your dedicated Rogue Company podcast, hosted by me, Radthar, and joined, as always, by Mr. OctaneProTV. How are you, sir?
Welcome back, everybody. I am great. I cannot wait to get into today's questions and show.
Yes, exactly. It's a nice, fun, kind of different episode. As we spoke about last week, we want to do a Q&A for you guys. So we got your most asked questions, your most interesting questions that we feel like we can elaborate on, and we're going to answer them here for you live. Well, not really live, but like kind of live, you know. That's actually something else we need to talk about, though. And I want to know in the comments as well for this video, because that tangented really well to what I actually want to talk about, which is,
okay,
I would love to do a live version of this podcast, like an episode. Do like maybe one episode, maybe do a couple episodes live. So if you guys want to see that, let us know in the comments below. Could be interesting. I will then re-upload it to YouTube and stuff for those of you who miss it. So let us know if you want to see that. I think it'd be pretty cool. But question and answer. Let's I say we stick right in with the questions people most want to see.
First off, before we get into that, I want everybody to congratulate Radthar for hitting 5K subs. So don't let this man look right past it. I was so excited for him tonight. So comment down below and congratulate Radthar for hitting 5,000 subs on his channel.
Oh, that's too sweet.
Now we may continue.
Now we may continue. Now that I've been humbled. Or no, it's the opposite of humbled. I mean, good. Go, congratulate me. So we went through the comments, and I basically went through and picked out the ones that were most commonly said, or that I felt I had something just really interesting about them. And you know ahead of time, there's already gonna be one about, is Rogue Company dying or something, or is it going to be a good one? Yep. We know that's coming. Okay. But the first one I want to answer is actually by Kid Giggity, which is, what is one big change or idea that we would like to see implemented into the game? Now, over RogueCast, we've talked a lot about different ideas we'd love to see. So I'm going to throw it to you first. What is like the idea? If you could have anything like launch with Season 2, like right now into the game, what would you want it to be?
So I was thinking about this earlier because Radthar sent over the questions earlier in the day, and I got a chance to look at them. And, as Radthar had said, I've thrown out ideas a lot recently. Actually, I had a few people approach me on the in-game tournament idea that I mentioned last show, but I was like, what is something that like I feel like really, really would alter the way the game's going, that I feel that would be helpful? That is my biggest one. It's like, what would be helpful to the game? I think we can all agree Rogue Company needs help, like somewhere in some capacity. And I think the one thing we saw in the last week or so, remind me if it's this week or last week, was the changes they made with all of a sudden now you could buy skins with reputation.
Yes, like that was this week. It was a couple days ago.
Yeah, so Radthar wants to take a lot of credit for this.
Yes, I want us to take a lot of credit for this, is what I want us to do.
Those of you guys that are unfamiliar, within the last week, they went ahead and added a feature in the shop called Bestsellers, and now you can purchase skins with reputation or rogue bucks, which is a phenomenal idea. So reeling that into where my idea is at is, that is an area that I feel that they finally took some direction from the community. I feel like that is a huge struggle for them, is direction from the community. And so if I was to think of one thing from Kid Giddy that reached out on this question, it would be adding an avenue to have more community impact on the game. I have mentioned in the past that some developers have gone the route of a voted system, kind of like a Reddit system, where, Radthar can go on the high-res Rogue Company website. He can enter in the idea to add recolor skins. Listen, we talked about this in a past show. He posted up there the idea, and then the community, me as a community member, I can log on there and I can vote X amount of times per week. So I can vote 5 times, 5 upvotes. So I'm going to give Radthar 3 of them and then vote 2 on another idea. And then they come in and look at these ideas and go, okay, this is what we need to work on moving forward. So I feel there needs to be a significantly larger community effect on the game development and direction. And I honestly feel that is why we are currently in the place we are right now, because that has not occurred in the last 6 months.
Okay, I like that. I think we've definitely talked about a lot of things that would have been improved had they listened to the community, whether it be the rounds in demolition, which they eventually changed, tenacity, which again they've eventually changed, and all these things that are coming in. So I like that one. For me, I would say the thing that would be most interesting to have in the game right now would be actually going to the stats and leaderboard stuff that we talked about before. That's what I want in here, because
yes.
Oh, your camera has frozen.
Oh,
technical difficulty.
Let's see here.
I shall talk.
Oh,
I shall entertain. Well,
look at that picture. Look at that picture I got up.
it is gorgeous. You are looking in awe at my stats and leaderboards right now. But the stats and leaderboards for me is going to be the thing that I would want to see the most. I think that it would give players who are grinders, who play this game a lot like myself, another avenue to sort of feed off of, whether it be the top 100, top 200, top 300 in ranked, whether that be just who has the best KD in everyone. Like, so many games, as we talked about, have this feature of a leaderboard and some statistics. I would love to see it implemented into Rogue Company as a pretty, like, necessary feature. Then you get an API set up so that we can use it for other things as well. It would just be fantastic. I think, for me, what's going to keep players here for the most part is going to be that system of having something to grind for. And the easiest way to give someone to grind for is some sort of leaderboard or statistic system that is so much more than what we've got already, which is, hey, like, oh, this happened to me because obviously I've been streaming on the official Rogue Company channel and people ask my stats all the time because they don't know me. So I go and pull up my stats and I'll show them, like, you know, like just my time played and my kills and my damage, and it's like, cool, this kind of means nothing. It just shows that I play the game a lot, right? I would love some like verified statistic of placement and things. I think that'd be the most interesting for me. How we going?
So while I fix the camera, I'm curious on that. Why do you feel they haven't added stats yet? Like, Rogue Company is not new. You know, it's been around for a little while now. Why do you feel stats have not been a priority?
I actually don't know. Like, because it makes so much sense given the style of game it is, the competitive nature of the game, the competitive nature of the devs who play it. Like, I don't know why this wasn't fleshed out a little bit more, because it's such a important system. Maybe just that they didn't put any priority on it. Maybe they're more concerned about, hey, we got a free-to-play game here, we need cosmetics. Maybe that's the direction they've decided to go. Maybe they just don't think it's necessary. Maybe they think having some sort of KD would be toxic or something like that in game. I'm not quite sure why they haven't really done it. I don't know. Is this just so, like, going to your high res knowledge? Does Smite and Paladins and stuff have leaderboards? I would assume so.
Yeah, they do, and that's why I'm really surprised, like, that we haven't seen something. I'm just wondering, like, so I know earlier, my camera's working now, right? We good?
No, you're not on Discord. You might want to open it back up on Discord. Like, turn it on, turn it off again.
It shows on my side.
That's not good.
Let's see here. Yep.
Technical difficulties.
That's all right. We'll fix it. Here, I'll turn it off, turn it back on. It's all right. We do it live. Good?
No. Why is that not working? Look, technical difficulties cut. Recut. Yeah. We're back. We did it.
Yay. Hey, it's live, baby. Yeah, 2 degree.
This thing happened.
So, yeah. So, I feel like I remember at one point there was discussions on the direction of even the stats in game, like currently, like the eliminations and deaths.
Yeah.
And not seeing certain things and stuff like that in order to make the game more communal and team based and objective based and stuff like that. But I feel like it's dropped off. And to be honest with you, I don't think I've heard anything from like Pretty Hair or from Scott Gandhi at all regarding stats.
No.
Like if you even let's not go too far down the route, but as far as even when we go into the game and look at weapons on the profiles and stuff, like,
yeah,
we have a lot of bars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, versus, you know, so it's like, like, flush that out. Like I just feel like there's a guy who's like a god at stats, and he's been off on vacation for the last 8 months.
Yeah,
like,
maybe
it's like,
that's that guy.
There's like a guy missing. Like, did you forget about him?
Yeah.
Like, Herman, did you bury Herman in the basement or something? You haven't let him out? Like, what are you guys doing?
Things like how many kills you got with every weapon, how many headshots you get with every weapon. Like, these are like things that I'm sure are tracked, right? They've got to be tracked somewhere. That we just need given to us, and I think that would be best. So yeah, I definitely
because they use those stats to make their decisions.
Exactly.
On balance changes.
Yeah. So it's like it's frustrating that they're not in the game. For me, that would be the thing I'd like to most see. You obviously want to see some more community-based avenues of feedback, which I think is a great idea as well. But we'll go on to question number 2, which is from the Green Boy. Do you think Rogue Company will grow big? And if not, how long do you think the game will survive in the game market? So I'm going to throw some back to you first, because I feel like if anyone's got nice opinions, given their knowledge of high res, it will be you. So I'm going to let you throw perspective on it from there.
Oh, okay. If you went back and asked me this question, the Green Boy, great guy, by the way, he stops in the stream a lot, so nice to see him commenting here. If you were to ask me this question around the Dr. Disrespect days, which is so funny because like it's all compressed into like a year.
Yeah.
And, into the time period where we were seeing a lot of large streamers playing the game
Mhm.
and stuff like that, I would say yes. What will the game grow big? Absolutely. I would say from that point on, development took a direction that I don't think was a wise decision
Mhm.
on a lot of things, and unfortunately lost the interest of a lot of people.
Mhm.
So current day, in the current state, no, this game will not be big.
Mhm.
This game is not a COD killer. This isn't a Fortnite killer.
No.
Even though we're talking about different genres here,
Mhm.
um, I don't unfortunately see it growing that big. Now, is there potential? Could they pivot?
Mhm.
Yes, yes, they absolutely could. Will they? Based off of high-res history, I don't know. I think after the decision that we saw this week with the reputation change, that's a step.
Yeah.
That's a baby step in a
Mhm.
thousand other changes that need to be made. But maybe after they make a few hundred, we're revisiting this and going,
Mhm.
all right, look at
For
this. This
sure.
is looking pretty good. So that's my perspective. What
Yeah.
about you? What are
So
your thoughts on it?
I'm actually very much the same. I know a lot of people may be surprised at hearing that, but I am not delusional to think that Rogue
What?
Company is necessarily going to be the next massive game. Again, back at like months ago, in the first few months, the game had so much potential, and it still has potential.
Yep.
Like I won't rule out the possibility that it will get to that point, but I'm
Hmm.
saying it could definitely have an esports scene. It could definitely rival Smite. I think it could
Hmm.
definitely surpass Smite as a game. Past
Hmm.
Paladins as others. I think it could be a very successful title for high res, not necessarily a very successful title in the gaming market if you want to compare it to
Hmm.
the CODs and the Fortnites and games like that
Sure.
was just
Sure.
pop. Like I don't seeing this is kind of how I see it. I don't see Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx coming to this game. What I do see is we maybe get some creators in this game getting some Twitch or YouTube popularity in this
Okay.
game, and then maybe if the game eventually does sort of go under, they can move on to something else. It's kind of where I see it. It's kind of like that's where I'm at and stuff. So I think the game has potential. I think the game is honestly one of the most fun games. You want to take it down to a core base mechanics, has some of the best gameplay and mechanics I've seen in a game. It's genuinely enjoyable to play most of the time. They have issues like matchmaking's
Most
an
of the
issue.
time.
Some development choices are frustrating,
Yep.
and sometimes there's a mismatch of the community. But overall, if those things were tightened, as you said, I think they're three big things. They're three very very big things to knuckle down on properly. Then it could have potential if we have the stats, if we have things to grind for, if we have cosmetics that people want to spend money for, if we have a way
Mhm.
of keeping players in the game and not feeling frustrated because they're being paired with level 30s and going up against people way higher
Mhm.
rank than them. If we nail all that in, I think we're actually okay. And so like that's like the bit that we need to get out of the rough of, and then we can look at maybe, hey, has this game got potential to like capture a really large audience? And I think we'll see. But I think it'll hit Smite levels. I think it could surpass Smite levels. I think if there becomes an esports scene eventually endorsed by Hi-Rez, I think it could be really popular. But we'll sort of see how that goes. That's my general thought. But I'm not delusional to
Do
think
you
that.
feel do you feel and this is to answer a lot of people that are like, "Oh, we can save Rogue Company or we can advance
Mhm.
it. Let's go ahead and they should launch an esports league right now."
Oh no.
Do you feel now is the time to do that or it would be it just would be preemptive and fail?
No, it would suck. Just appeal to your casual player base right now. Get the casuals happy with the rank system. Give people a reason to grind. Those grinders can then become your professional players. That's the way it needs
Mm.
to operate, right? We have a comp scene at the moment that is dominated by one team and a couple good
Mhm.
players spread about other teams. And there's probably about 20 players that are good at this game, like they're really good at this game, that can compete at a high level, that just switch between teams and they just pair up with each
Mhm.
other and try and find a good combination and don't stick it out other than this one team that is standing there and just dominating them all because they're staying together and they've got the chemistry for it. And
Yep.
so,
Yep.
like, you now want to throw an esports scene on there where these teams have no incentive to stay together.
Yep.
It just doesn't work. So let's focus on the casual player base. What's going to bring you an audience? What's going to get other streamers want to be involved because there's an audience? This is we've got to
Mhm.
look at first. Build up your core mechanics of the game. Fix your matchmaking. Get cosmetics so you can start earning money in the right way, and just give people a reason to want to play your game, other than just watching the one team win all the time. So
Yeah.
that's my thoughts.
Mhm.
Esports scene right now, no. 2022, we'll talk about it. I don't want to hear anything about an esports scene until 2022. Honestly,
Yeah. I
then
think it's
then we'll
smart.
talk. Cool.
Yeah,
That
it's
that
smart.
that all the thoughts on that one.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Green Boy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a very big question. I think we kind of summed up our opinions pretty well there. So next one comes from you. This is, how often are the rogue partners?
Who?
You? You.
Who?
You know
What?
you comments a lot. You is always in the comments. I'm glad he asked a great question here. So how often are the rogue partners like ourselves or other content creators directly asked for input or potential changes? And I really like this one. I was saying, do the developers ever introduce new ideas to these guys before the rest of the community gets the word of it? So, I mean, I think I'll take this one off there. I have.
Yes, please take that one.
Yeah. So I have been asked my opinions on certain things. I'm not going to really go into like what I've been asked and what I haven't been asked. And I've given feedback. Is that feedback sometimes completely ignored? Yes. Do I end up being right? Sometimes. But, you know, so we do get asked occasionally. I don't know the structure in which they ask. If they ask everybody, I feel like they probably don't. I think it's very personal. I've never been contacted by Rogue Company and been asked, hey, you know, what do you think of this? I get the same treatment in that regards as like everybody else, which is, hey, I play the PTS and I do a survey. That's what happens. But I have been asked personally questions on certain topics, and I've reached out and talked about certain topics and started those conversations myself as well. So there is at least a feedback avenue there. Does it always get listened to? No. Does it sometimes get listened to? Yes. Like, honestly, like there is a balance there. There is definitely an element where I feel like I'm at least being listened to in a way. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. What's your experience? What's your experience?
So I would say the rogue partners are not listened to at all. Now, what I mean by that is the rogue partners do not have a direct connection to the developers. So if you're a rogue partner, you're not sitting in a chat with 5 or 10 of the developers.
No.
Okay. So that answers that question right there.
Yeah.
So there right away, I think is a fracture and a disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
So where are the developers getting their community direction from if they're not getting them from the people that they're calling rogue partners and they're partnering with the people that are driving their game? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to call out Scott Gandhi, and I'm going to add right now, Scott Gandhi, comment on this video, tweet at us. Where are you getting your game direction from the community? We'll love to know.
I kind of wonder.
Like, where is it? Like, I understand that he messages only Gandhi. I don't know of anyone else that he messages people here and there and is like, what do you think of this? And what do you think of that? But it's like, brother, you got a team of people here ready to give you their thoughts and feedback, and no one's here to listen.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a challenge. There is another group, and I've told people this before. It's nothing special. There's an experimental testing division that you sign an NDA for this, and I've signed it. We find out like in that group like when a patch might be dropping sooner than later. And we do get feedback from Radthar, who was the previous like community manager, quasi community manager. He's kind of moved on to bigger and better worlds, but he's still in there, and he still creates a lot of like questions in there, like, hey, what's everyone's thoughts on Secret now? And then he listens and talks it out, stuff like that. But like, that is as close as we get, and he's not even a developer.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll pass off that information is what I hear, and there's kind of a few things here and there, but that's it. Yeah. That's it. So I as our audience knows, I never sugarcoat things, and sometimes I burn bridges, and that's okay. But that is one area of. And that is why I brought up when Kid Giddy had asked that question about like one thing we'd love to see implemented is there's a huge disconnect. And I think that disconnect is what is causing the direction of the game. Yeah,
I actually can agree. I would love a more official route to talk about those sort of things with developers and stuff and get a big team. I have a meeting with Rogue partners. And that happened at one point. When I joined the partner program, that was something that happened. Like, I think it was when they were talking about readjusting the partner program. And I didn't, and I like wasn't like actually like there for it. Like I wasn't like actually like a partner at the point, but I knew it was like going on, and I got partnered like the next day or something. But yeah, it was like one of those things. But like I enjoy being able to like give my feedback as I might do it. And I'm very vocal on Twitter. I'll always I'll say, hey, this needs to change, like the tenacity change. Like I very, very upfront just tweeted out this should happen to tenacity, and it got a lot of traction, and that's the kind of thing that like I the liberty of doing. And then I can always just DM somebody and try and start up a conversation. I'm very much like that as well. I'll just DM someone and be like, hey, you know what? Let's try and talk about this, or let's do this. So that works as well. So I like that I can share my voice in that way, but I understand that it's not always available for everybody. And so I would love a more official route for the partners specifically to talk about it, because I think we are pretty good advocates of what the community wants, honestly. I think we see your comments, right? We see all the comments, and we see all the Twitch messages, and we see everything. We see the Reddit posts, and we see the tweets. And so we do accumulate an idea of what the community wants. So I think we are good advocates for the community in that regard. But yeah, so to answer the question, how often are Rogue partners contacted to ask about these sort of things? As a official sort of standing, no, not really at all. On a personal level, I've had conversations about it. Obviously, I played the PTS with Scott, and that is where I get a lot of questions done and stuff. Like that's where that's always a great time. So I'm glad that avenue is open and stuff. But yeah, I would love a more official route to sort of give feedback rather than just a selfish one, I guess.
You're right. You're right.
So cool. I think that kind of answers that question. Go on to question number 4, which is by Cashew. Okay, so now we're just going into questions about the game specifically that I thought were really interesting. So who do you think will be the number 1 ban in competitive Rogue Company if this ban phase comes in? So obviously the ban phase is coming with season 2.
Well, it is coming. Yep. I'm excited.
Yep. 1 Rogue ban per team. What do you think the most commonly banned competitive Rogue is? And I'll also throw in casual Rogue as well.
So another question there, and maybe know on top of that, and this helps with my answer, is we'll be getting bans, but we won't be getting a rogue can only be selected once, correct? So if our team picks Dahlia, the other team can't pick Dahlia.
Yes.
That is coming?
Oh wait, so you mean like a draft phase? Like they pick, then you pick.
Correct. So drafting.
So that's not coming in this patch. I don't think there's enough rogues really at the moment for that sort of thing. Let's be real. So I think it's just the ban phase. It's just attacking team bans 1, defensive team bans 1. That's it. And they ban after each other, so they see who each other bans. So there's no duplicate ban. So
the ban happens beforehand. Okay, for those of you guys not familiar with what I'm referring to, Radthar, perfect terminology, is the draft phase. So you start out the game, each team selects their bans, and then Radthar's team gets to pick first and picks 1 character, and then my team goes second. Our team picks 2 characters, and then back and forth. So and then you can see who the other team is selecting through that. Okay. So banning. Interesting. I am right now, if I was to look in the current state of things right now, I would say Dahlia.
Okay.
So I am finding recently with some of the games I've been watching, Dahlia has introduced this next level of versatility because of the fact of a lot of these passives that we've seen in the last few recent characters have been phenomenal. Some of these passives are game changing. And so being able to replicate them in one capacity or another, I feel like she just brings so much. When you think about a ban, the ban is okay, what would that character bring to Radthar's team if I let Radthar's team pick that?
Yeah.
And it's so unless the hard part is a lot of the times bans come down to the team you're playing. I know Radthar's god tier at Phantom, not that he is, but I know that he is god tier at Phantom. So you're not Pancake. I wouldn't be gotta take Phantom away. Dude, but if I knew Radthar was god tier at Phantom, that's all he played is Phantom. A strategic play from my team would be to ban Phantom.
Yeah. Because
that forces him to play someone else. But in a system where it is ranked. My mind's wandering. With the new system coming out with bans, can you see who's on the other team before you make your ban?
You can do the thing where you tab real quick to have a little cheeky look. Yeah, but no, you can't officially see who you're up against.
Interesting. Okay, so if we're playing
so hard, I get Q sniped so often.
So if you think about it, if you're playing legitly and you don't do the tab bug, which I wonder how they address that, how they bug it out, but if you go that route, then I think you're gonna see some more of these characters that bring more versatility, like a Dahlia, in that regard. But on the flip side, my answer will vary if I know who's on the other team, and then it's gonna revolve around who I know they're god tiers at. So that's my thoughts. What about you?
Okay, so I'm gonna blitz through it because I've got this very set in my mind. Current meta, if it was introduced right now this second, Kestrel's getting banned every game. No one wants to play against Kestrel. She's too strong.
I was gonna mention Kestrel for a second.
In a casual sense, in casual game modes, or not even casual game, because it's not coming to every game mode, I believe. But like, I think ranked people will ban Lancer all the time. I think people really hate Lancers, don't want to deal with Lancer. Lancer's getting banned because they just don't want to deal with it. And I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. Lancer is a worthy ban, honestly, because she can just annoy a team, especially annoy a team who aren't very good. So I think she'll get banned. When you go to competitive sense, Dahlia is an interesting ban because both teams want Dahlia. So both teams have access to Dahlia, but it's whether that team will pull the trigger and say, hey, we've practiced without Dahlia. We don't need it. We've got the Saint. Now you're screwed. I think that's potential. I think Kestrel will also be another competitive ban pick at the moment. Seeker, I don't think will be. I don't think he's worth it. I think the arrow is
Kestrel's a no-brainer, honestly. Kestrel is just... Woo, I feel like Kestrel is phenomenal in every game mode right now.
She is. She just slays. But the one I think will really be banned, and I think teams will be really smart about, and this is, I think, a really smart ban, is Anvil. Because Anvil retake in a competitive level is really, really prevalent at the moment. And I imagine that they will just ban him so that they don't have to deal with it. Like, imagine like you're a team, right? And you're on your attack, and you know the other team loves an Anvil retake, and you take that Anvil away from them, they've got to come up with a whole other strategy about how they're planning on defending this bomb site, right?
Sure.
Or, on the flip, say that, okay, you've banned the Anvil, and you normally Anvil retake, but you've banned it, but you've practiced a strategy where you don't need it. And so there's that strategic ban element that's really, really good. And I think I've always talked about meta picks as being, you have two meta rogues, you have a healer, and you have a strategic flex pick, right? That's the way I've always described team compositions. I think banning that strategic pick, whatever it happens to be in the moment, whether it be a glitch, whether it be an Anvil, whether it be a trench, could be really, really interesting. So that's what I see the ban phase going. I think it'll be really good for competitive play. I've seen some people, I did saw a comment the other day, which was like, the ban phase is going to kill rogue companies. This is the worst thing ever. I'm like, what are you on about? Like, this is so standard for games like this. Like,
and it's isolated to competitive anyway. Like,
exactly.
It's ranked anyway.
Yeah. So like, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely like it'll be really good for the game, I imagine. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna enjoy the strategic element.
Relax, strikeout player. You're not getting bans to your strikeout. Yeah. Relax.
Yet.
Yeah.
Coming for your answer.
Right.
Okay, so next question is coming from the game 836, and he asks, why is Extraction the odd man out when it comes to the 3 permanent modes? And I like this because I actually released a video today as of recording this, which is yesterday, you guys, which was ranking all the limited time modes. So I did talk about all the limited time modes, and I talked very briefly in there about how I think Extraction is butt, and how I think that there's a few other game modes that should absolutely replace Extraction. And I specifically talked about how Assault is the mode Extraction should have been. Like they were trying to... Extraction is this blend of strikeout and demolition, kind of, but it doesn't do it very well. And Assault did it perfectly. And so that's like kind of the things. That's my lead in for you. So why do you think Extraction is the child that the gamers don't like?
So Extraction originally was like a limited time mode.
And people don't know this.
It was a very early on limited time mode. Here's some more history for a game that's very young in the first place. But it originally was this like quasi limited time mode before they were pushing limited time modes like they are now. And everybody enjoyed it because it was something different.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, cool, like this is fun, something different. So they elevated it to a full-time game mode. The downside is, as the weeks and months went on, think about now, if you threw in a limited time mode and stuck it as a permanent mode now, and then, hey, 6 months later, it's still there. It's like, oh, well, crap. Like, this is boring now. So I think Extraction has faltered because of the fact that it was put in there in a slot that was meant to rotate, and now it's been in there forever. My understanding is they're going to be moving Extraction out at some point and be... Oh, my camera freeze again.
You just broke. Broke. Unfortunately.
Well, you can still hear me for right now, so I'll try to fix that in a second. So that is why I feel Extraction... Awesome. I don't know what my deal is. That is why I feel Extraction has really struggled more recently, because it's not the latest and greatest. And so I think that slot needs to get to a true rotating slot on a weekly basis. I really don't like that they do a limited time mode for just a weekend only.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe it's because I'm always very busy, like family life and stuff like that on the weekend, and I always want to play some more. So I would love to see them take a limited time mode and do like a Sunday to Saturday type of deal,
Yeah.
and just run them for a week, and then move on to the next one and keep it fresh and
Mhm.
different and rotating. So that's my 2 cents on Extraction. I'd love to hear what you have to, what you
Yeah,
had to add.
I honestly just think Extraction just isn't a good enough game mode. I'll be really, really upfront with it. I think that it's like, I mean, I literally watched Die Hard play it like an hour ago, and I'm just like, what is
Okay.
the point of this mode? You may as well play Demolition. You have this neutral bomb site, kind of, that you're meant to hack, that's really easy to take, and then generally one-sided, and then really easy to retake, but you also have
Did
one
he do
lives.
customs?
No,
Did he do
no, he
customs?
was just running it at a pub.
Wow. Did he have a trouble getting into queue
No, he
at
found
all?
Q's okay.
Okay. All right.
But
All right.
essentially, like, but it just becomes a kill fest, or it becomes like this weird little. Well, I just throw a smoke and defuse because the defuse is really quick and you kind of can't stop me. Like, and it just doesn't fit the game really. It's just kind of, it feels like when I play it, I'm just like, okay, well, why did I do this? And it doesn't help that most of the time I play Extraction, I go up against people who have no idea what they're doing, who are randomly selected on this game mode thinking it might be fun, and I run around with an axe and just bury it in their skulls all the time.
It is very appealing to new players.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. Because it's kind of like learning the ropes, I guess, and I guess it's valuable in that sense. But it's just not a full-time game mode worthy piece of content. It's not
Agreed.
like, and this is what I talked about in my video. I rated these game modes, these limited time modes, and said which ones would be better, or which ones are worthy of permanent game modes. And I said 2. I said Wingman absolutely should be a permanent game mode. 2v2 Wingman all the time. That people can just jump in. They're easy lobbies because you only need 4 people instead of 8.
Yep.
You know, they're fun. They're a good mix up. They help like teams warm up. They give you good like 1v2 mentality. It's just a fantastic game mode that they really did well on, and I wish they would push harder rather than having it just in customs. I'm so glad it's in customs, by the way. But rather than just having it there, I think that's a switch for that.
Yeah.
I also think King of the Hill is another one. I mean, I know you haven't played it, and I know a lot of the community hasn't played it. I am telling you right now, King of the Hill is a phenomenal game mode. Absolutely top tier, S tier game mode that should so be in rotation. And then you have other ones which work really well as LTMs. You have Countdown, you have Sabotage, you have Assault, you have Sniper Strikeout, which, oh my god, can we bring that back, please? That was so much fun. Like, these game modes are great for that rotating weekly thing that give you something fresh and different. And then you have these set game modes which are really fun, like Demo and Strikeout and Ranked and Wingman and King of the Hill. Great game modes I would love to play all the time for a little bit of flavor here or there. So that's my thoughts on it. I just think Extraction does not hit the mark as a game mode of one that's really worth playing. I think it does what Assault is trying to do worse. I think Assault is just a better version of what that game mode should be. So
yeah, this is definitely evidence of a disconnect from the community.
Yeah.
Like the current game mode like layout is just, it's bad. Like Extraction could have been removed when Wingman was brought in, and that swap could have occurred. Like, come on, like these are things that I feel like they could do in a day. Like demote Extraction as a limited time mode. You know, move Wingman into the slot it deserves. Like, it's just like, these are the things where I don't feel we need to wait for an entire patch, like a battle pass to do. And I think that's definitely where the challenge lies for me, where it's like at the core mechanic, the game modes are definitely a challenge and a turnoff for people. So no, good question. Great question coming from the game A36.
I think that was a really good one as well. Going on then to 2 questions that I threw in just because I feel like cosmetics are always of interest to people. And I certainly have some opinions on this. Insane Shane the Hurricane, as he's known, both very loyal to both our channels, asks, what is your favorite skin in all of Rogue Company? And I'll throw this one to you first, because as I said, cosmetics are a really big part of the game. They're not game changing, but they're certainly something that keeps you interested. Like, I played Apex like a little bit, like a little bit tangent. I played Apex like a little bit the past couple of days. Like, I've been doing like Discord streams for my Twitch sub. So if you're subbed to my Twitch, there's a channel you can go to, and I'm just streaming it in there just because, you know, I don't want to touch my main channel with it until I get partnered. Give me that purple tick, please. Like, I'm going insane. But so I've been doing that, and I almost bought like literally spent $20 on just a skin for no reason on a game that I rarely play. So, like, you know, skins are definitely very valuable. So what is your favorite skin in Rogue Company if you had to pick one?
So I actually loaded up Rogue Company, looked through them. Like, so if okay, I'm gonna pick one, and then I want to pick one because it's funny.
Okay.
So the first one I'm gonna pick, I still feel is the the most detail was put into it
Okay.
was the Dima Scaducci Dima skin.
Okay. I vibe with that one.
That one I feel like is the most like original to it. And it was one of the original early ones that we got actually in the game within the first few weeks of it. The one that I laugh about the most, and it's I call it this, but I know it's not, is the Schoolyard Scrap Seeker one. AKA what I call on my stream the Perry Hatter skin. So for those of you guys, I always call out high res for these Chinese knockoff skins that they put into games, which are direct representations of something within culture. And the Schoolyard Scrap Seeker might as well be called Perry Hatter or Harry Potter, but Perry Hatter, you know, because you look at it, you're like, come on. So it makes me laugh every time I see it because I'm like, really, guys? So short story, in Smite, they added a Catwoman skin. It was a straight Catwoman skin, and they called it like
Feline Girl.
like something. It's like some like knockoff name.
Yeah.
And within a week, they got a takedown notice.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, like it was a straight. It was for best. It was for best step. And so it's just like this skin is like, come on, guys, like you're not fooling anybody. And all right, we're gonna skip back to Kid Giddies, and then we'll get to yours. One thing I love to see in the game, and I've talked about this before, is them partnering with other brands out there to bring them in. So like you could have partnered with the Harry Potter franchise and made this a Harry Potter Seeker skin.
Exactly.
And it would have been phenomenal. Like marketing wise, like bringing in new people just to play this character, like whatever. Even if, and you know what, maybe this wasn't the best Harry Potter avenue. Maybe it was some character that had something that was kind of like spells and stuff, and maybe this character you partnered with DC and the Green Arrow on. Like, but I think that would be phenomenal because their skins are okay, but they're not. I need to buy that Fortnite skins. Like that's where we need to be. You guys want to make money off this game? Stop coming out with this garbage objective stuff that you came out with a few weeks ago and wasting your time and everyone's time on it. And put your time and money into that stuff. Because guess what? When I go to Fortnite, and I don't play Fortnite, and I know there's a Thor skin in that game, I'm like, holy crap, I want that. And it's like, when I load up Rogue Company, there's nothing in this game that I go, I want that. I need that. So anyways, I'm sorry, tangent. Your turn. Skins.
Okay, so you know what? I had an answer, and then I kind of wavered on it, and then I thought of something completely different. I completely wavered on it. So I'm going to run you through that thought process because I want to highlight all three of these, and I'm being cheeky.
Okay.
The first one that comes to mind is the Kyoto Undercover Ronin, because I'm a big fan of Japanese lore. I'm a big fan of Japanese mythology. It's the samurai era, the ninjutsu era, and so that skin really speaks to me. Not as popular, absolutely not, but one for me that hits home that I really like. So it's like a personal love for me. Then the other one that I really, really love is Shield Maiden Sigrid. I absolutely love the Viking tattooed skin. I love the history behind that character as well, which I know we talked about before, I think, on the podcast, with it being Pretty Hair's mum, and that's sort of like feeding into it and stuff. And I love that. I think that one gets to me as well. Then I realized that I couldn't not say this was my favorite skin, considering how much money I actually spent on it. Is the Lancer skin, the Night Stalker Lancer, I think it's called, or Night Runner Lancer, which is the very sleek braided back hair.
I don't even have that one.
I don't even have that so gorgeous, and I just love that skin. And the reason I will highlight it because so you could only get this skin. You could you can't get it. You can't get it. And the exclusivity makes it better because you can only get it if you bought the Ultimate Founders Edition of the game back in closed beta, right? So you had to spend about 50 UK, I think it was, so 60 US, $60 US to get this, basically unlock the full game, unlock all the rogues, and get a bunch of cosmetics, of which this was one. I opted when I bought the game in closed beta for the $25 one, which gave me all the rogues, a few cosmetics, but didn't give me this skin. In fact, this skin was the only thing I was missing other than that and a spray, I think. Later on, like, because they kept this package open throughout the whole of Season 0 and stopped it at the start of Season 1.
Yeah, yes.
this skin, I was staring at it for months, being like, it's a really nice skin. But if I buy this Ultimate Founders Edition for $60 US,
Yep.
I'm only getting this skin and some stupid spray. That's all I'm getting in return, and then I bought it. And I do not look back. I am so happy with that skin. That was worth it. It was worth it to me. I don't care what anyone says. So that one has to be my top favorite skin until I at least say it enough times that the value becomes worth it. So that one hits it for me.
I will probably ruin your parade on the fact that nothing. Okay, I tell you now, nothing is exclusive with high res. So when they come out with something and say it's exclusive, I guarantee you in the next year that will be on the store to buy.
I don't want that.
And it is upsetting, but I have seen it on every one of their games. Every one of their games. The only time I haven't seen that happen is if it is an alpha only skin, like it says alpha on it or something of those sorts.
Yeah.
But yeah, quick story. In Smite, they came out with a Twitch Ymir skin. Ymir is a frost giant skin, really cool Twitch skin, and it was super early Smite. And the only way that you could get it was to stream 5,000 hours of Smite.
God.
I did it. I streamed 5,000 hours of Smite. And I streamed Smite for like 5 years. So I streamed it and I earned it. And the only way you could do it was to message the community manager.
Yeah.
They would like look into it and then they would send it to your account.
Wow.
Few months or years later, you could buy that sucker right off the store.
That's so
like
painful.
Talk about So anytime you see the word, oh, my camera died again. Awesome. I don't know what's going on.
You're back. It's fine. You're back.
Don't touch it. So anytime you see exclusive, it's exclusive right now.
Yeah.
Like there should be like an asterisk right now.
I'd be sad if that skin comes back. I mean, I won't really.
That's what I was asking. I'm like, if it's on the store, I'll just nab it right now because I got all this reputation. You probably have a lot more than I do. Are you at like 400,000 reputation?
500.
500? Yeah. So you have significantly more. People see my reputation. I have 162, and they're like, "How do you have so much reputation?" And I'm like, I don't even play that much.
Yeah.
Like you should see some of these other people out there.
I'm actually 6 levels away from max at this point. I'm 494, I think 495. So I'm pretty close there.
So you hit max, so you're done playing.
I'm done. That's all my grinding. I should hit it as season 2 starts. So happy days, you know. I hit that threshold nicely. Okay, last question, similar topic though. And actually, I feel like we mildly covered it, but we'll breeze through it. But Henry Keys asked, which rogue do you think deserves a legendary remodel the most? They say Glitch, Kestrel, Talon. There's their sort of suggestions. But who would you say? Because obviously I know a lot of people were upset about the Phantom skin being the final one for the Battle Pass. Again, we spoke about it last week. I spoke about it, I should say. And I said I'm absolutely still supportive for it because otherwise, you know, that particular version, whether it be a recolor or not, is worth a lot of money in the other version. So I'm okay for it being a cheaper variety of it. But what, sir, do you think is the best rogue to receive another legendary skin for the next Battle Pass or for whatever reason? Who would you like to see get that attention?
Talking about a remodel real quick, I did see they posted on Twitter the other day about the remodeling Lancer, which I was happy to see that. Did you see that?
What do you mean? Like they changed?
They're like upgrading her character model.
Her base character model, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was really interesting. If you guys haven't seen it, go on their Twitter and scroll down to 4 days ago. So 5 days when you watch this.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that like I'm happy to see this. Yeah. And if you're like, oh, we don't really need this, it's like, yeah, but this is kind of taking the game to the next step. Like, you know, so I'm really excited about that. I think it's because they're supporting Unreal 4 engine to support that. But anyways, back to your original question on who I feel needs to get not a remodel, but you're saying a Battle Pass legendary skin,
yes,
right?
Essentially another legendary skin.
Trench.
What would you do for
Trench? I don't know.
So boring.
I really don't know. But I feel like he could use some love there.
Okay.
I mean, this past Battle Pass, he got that stupid leather jacket cut off with glasses that look like they bought that Hi-Rez just bought those glasses right off the Unreal store.
Tough guy Trent.
Oh God, I have it and it's so garbage. Like, I don't like it. Those glasses need to be on a Terminator. Like those need to be on a Terminator skin.
Okay.
But I have it. I brought it up right now. I'm looking at it. But yeah, I would say Trench. Now I am biased. Trench was my first love in the game because of the MXR. So that's kind of where I go to it. What about you? What do you got?
I got two that I would think, but I'll lean on one more.
This man's always asking for one, and then he comes out. Last question was 3. So all right, give us your 2.
See, I'm whittling down. All right, if we had another question, we'd do 1. I would love Dali to get a good skin that it feels more than just a recolor. I feel like Dali is a very popular rogue that could benefit off something really, really funky and cool. I personally would like some sort of military or even like an Amazonian warrior kind of thing. Like that'd be really cool.
I like the military.
Yeah, I think that'd be like really, really cool. Even like I don't know, maybe like link it with a holiday or something. Like some like what we got coming up?
Like July 4th.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
there you go.
US.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Independence Day, something like that would be really, really cool. Like link that in there or something. I think that'd be really, really great. But the one I actually want to lean to a little bit more is actually Castro. I feel like just in terms of that character and the ethnicity, there's so much cool you could do. Like you did with Kyoto Ronin doing the Japanese lore. You could definitely do something with Castro there that could be really, really interesting. And I think that'd be really cool. I've actually seen for a while a lot of the Middle Eastern community of Rogue Company talk about how they would love some sort of integration with Ramadan. I always say, like, when it comes to sort of holidays and things like this, it's kind of like weird. You don't want to like overstep holidays too much and stuff. But like absolutely some sort of integration that would be really, really cool with Castro, I think, of whatever you want to do. So I think that would be kind of nice. Or give them their own server, because I think if people ask for a Middle Eastern server, it's a lot as well. But honestly, I think Kestrel could be one of the most interesting legendary skins that we see. So that's what I would lean, although a Dahlia one would also be kind of cool.
Yeah, something I thought about actually. This is one of my Octane's many ideas. I use this platform to share my ideas. I'm sitting on the rogue selection screen now, so where you see all the rogues and their cards. I want to see in the top left-hand corner. So the top right-hand corner, you get your level, right? Whatever level you are. Top left, I want to see their country of origin.
Okay.
So I think it would be really cool to add that into the game, so that you, as someone from the Middle East, you go, oh, I like I can connect with that. Oh, I'm from the UK, so I'm gonna, I just feel a connection with this character.
I would like that.
I think that would be kind of cool. I think that would be a cool direction to go. It would also be fun to see, like you talked about, like different like camo that we would see, like more military outfits. If we started to adopt some of that, that would be kind of neat to be able to see that. Like, I feel like there's a huge avenue for them to unlock here. Now, granted, I know this is supposed to be based in the future to a degree, so it's like, okay, some of these countries in the we don't really know a ton on the lore, but certain countries don't exist, or new countries exist in this lore. But anyways, I think that'd be kind of fun. I would love to be able to come into the game, and it's based off of what country you select as your country of origin or your servers. Just something different, something fun and different.
I like that too. I think that'd be a good idea.
It'd be a game mode. You could do like a US versus like a UK game mode. And you can only pick the characters from the US and only pick the UK. Like, I think that would be fun. So,
I mean, you have to have a very large rogue pool for that to happen. You want to get 8 people from only 2 different countries. We're talking like a lot of things going on there, but that'd be interesting. I like that feature a lot, actually, of showing the country of origin, because they have them, right? The maps even have the country of origin. So like Winwood is Italy. So I would love to see that sort of thing be implemented as well. I think that's a really good idea. Just for like a little bit more connection to it, right? That's what people need to stay invested in the game. You need connection to it, whether it be grinding or just something to do with the characters. Like, as a very small tangent before we end, I love mythology, and one of the things that like kind of led me towards Smite a little bit was it's just mythology. It's everywhere. Like, I can play as like Odin, and I can play as like Hades, and it's like, okay, this is phenomenal. I'm super chuffed with this. So I like that. I think that's a really good idea. But that's all the questions that I sort of thought. We've gone a little bit of a longer episode. I know we said we shot them down, but you know what? We talk. It's okay. You guys enjoy it.
Which is really funny, because I saw the comments on the last episode, and some people were like, "Oh, the short episode was refreshing," but then other people were like, "I really enjoy the longer episode." So it's
so you know
can't
what?
Win.
We'll find a balance somewhere. You let us know what you prefer, and we'll find something. Sure, why not? But thank you for all your questions, guys. I'm sure we'll do more of these. Let us know about the live show if you want to see that over on Twitch. If you want to see that, it'd be really, really cool to let us know if you want to. But thank you for all your questions, guys. And until next week, where we have more topics to talk about, I'm sure we'll see you later. Goodbye.